How we doing, guys? It is the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. This is the NS9 postgame show powered by Permani Brothers. I'm Jim. With me is Doug. Doug, just another pathetic loss by this team. I'm almost at a loss for words for how frustrating these losses are getting. It's every one. They're all just ripping your heart out. Loss after loss after loss. Like, when was the last time this team got like beat up in a game? I can't even tell you, Doug. But this one is gut wrenching.
Yeah, Greg Brown kept calling it stunning. I have to confess, I was not stunned. Right. I was expecting that. I was, I'm disappointed, but I mean, it's kind of following the script. Look, it's a 500 team. It doesn't matter who their opponent is. They find ways to win. They find ways to lose, and they worked hard to lose this game today. Again, the team loss, errors, and bad pitching, and and then wow, here's a great defensive play, and wow, here's Esmerlyn Valdez. But it's a 500 team. They're just and again, it's because the Pirates are never conventional, right? It has to be 11-1 victories and then 9-7 of these type losses. It's not just sort of we win 4-5 and then we lose 5-4. It's not how it goes.
Yeah, I was really excited to get on. Like, I think why I'm so bummed out is because I was so freaking excited, Doug, to come on here and talk about just like an awesome comeback win fueled by, Esmerlyn Valdez coming in, the rookie, pinch hitting off the bench, facing a lefty who's had a really good season to this point. And this was going to be like that. This was the feel good win that we all really wanted, because this game was, if you watched this entire game, this was a roller coaster game. This was a fun game to watch.
Sure was. It was entertaining
during this game. Maybe not fun the entire time, right? But this was an entertaining baseball game, and it looked like the Pirates were going to come out on top at the end. They were one strike away, and Gregory Soto blows his 4th save of the year. The bullpen, I don't know how many blown saves this is, Doug. I think it might be 18, somewhere in that territory.
It's something like that. It's more blown saves than saves, which, is a problem.
The bullpen blows it again. And now we've got to talk about another frustrating, pathetic, loser bullpen losing another game.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was all excited. I was going to say, man, look.
I don't know what happened to you. I can't hear you.
I don't know. I have nothing. What's that?
Oh, where did Doug go? I don't know where Doug went. While we're waiting on Doug, maybe it was just me then. Maybe it was me.
Great, because now you can't hear me, can you?
So apparently everybody can hear Doug except for me. Let me try doing something.
I have to too, because I think when I came back.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, you got me? Okay.
It was my headphones were not working. So go on, Doug.
All right. No, I was with you. I was excited. I wanted to say things like, man, we have found our catcher in Endy Rodriguez. Wow, we have found an outfielder, of the future, in Esmerlyn Valdez. Just good things happening. Lowe hits his 20th home run. Ryan O'Hearn breaks out of it a little bit. And then we have to talk about the same old junk. And I got into the chat a little earlier and said, who would have you pitched in the 9th, right? I mean, that's the problem. The problem isn't that Soto sucks. It's the problem that they all suck. And the problem is that there's nobody you can say, oh, yeah, here's my lockdown guy. Matson's looked a little better lately. Santana's looked I'm not sure. It seems like he's looked a little better lately, but I certainly, there would have been a lot of second guessing if he'd gone there in that situation. Where is Carmen Mlodzinski? I don't. This usage of Carmen Mlodzinski is hurting this team. This is on the general manager, I think, more than anybody else. And just since Jared Jones has come up, the way they've used Mlodzinski's probably cost us 3 games, right? And Jared Jones has been here for 5 or 6 starts or something, and it's just. You can't put Sisk in as a closer, Paul. You guys all love Sisk. Guy, yay, he got an out today with a runner on base. The guy gave up
2 runs today. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the guy gives up. And if he comes in with runners on, they all suck. That's it. There's no, put Sisk in. Why? Sisk can't pitch either. He's terrible. He has good numbers, but runners inherited and scored. Half the time he lets them in. I mean, they all stink. They all stink, and they need to do something. And when I say do something, they need to get other pitchers. And it's getting closer to the time now where that's possible. All right. Nobody makes trades in May. It's June 27th, Ben Charrington. Figure something out. Find something. Overpay. Do something. Call someone up from Double-A. I don't bring up Antoine Kelly again. And I'm not saying anything you do will work, but it's better than this nonsense. Keep running out again, the definition is insanity. You keep running out the same guys and expecting different results. Our internal analytics tell us that he's about to turn the corner.
Thank you to Michael B. Says there's so much to dislike today, from Jones' antics, yelling at Endy, to more bullpen blown saves. It would have been nice to have Mlodzinski work the 8th and the 9th, but no use him. But no use him in blowouts. Yeah, I mean.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, Doug, this was, again, there was a lot to dislike, but there was also a lot to like today. And I really wanted to talk about, I didn't want to do this kind of post-game show today. That's really what
I volunteered for this, Jim. I wasn't scheduled. I volunteered for this. When they took that lead, I was so happy. I'm like, this is going to be such a fun thing to talk about. Right.
Fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's I guess let's
where do you want to start,
there.
Yeah.
Let's pick it up in the 7th, right? I mean, the Pirates, we'll talk about the beginning part of the game here too, but once it became a 6-4 game there in the let's talk about the bullpen, because Jerry Jones came out in the 5th inning. Evan Sisk gets the last out of the 5th, but then in the top half of the 5th, he walks the leadoff hitter, which became a trend throughout today's game. But that was Jones who walked the leadoff hitter, and then we'll get to the Jones start. I do want to dissect the Jones start, but let me go back to the 6th. Sisk walks Suarez to lead off the inning. Then he gives up a base hit to Spencer Steer. Yohan Ramirez comes in and almost does this Houdini act there. But I want to start with this inning because Sisk does walk the leadoff hitter, Doug. It's 4-4 game. Then he induces what looks like a routine double play ball to Jared Triolo, who's starting at shortstop today because Connor Griffin, who just got activated off the IL, is being quote unquote eased back in. Triolo, I mean, I'll tell you this, Triolo, this is a play that he should have made, right? I don't think any shortstop would say that they shouldn't make this play, but Triolo, he misses it. He misses it. Just boots the ball altogether. Suarez goes to 3rd. So now Yohan comes in almost an impossible situation. He makes a nice play on a comebacker. Then there's a bunt single that loads the bases. And you could argue here, why, Nick Gonzalez, we'll talk about the defense here, because I thought the defense today was just outstandingly terrible. Nick Gonzalez, I don't know why he's playing back so far. He's playing back it is a double play opportunity. He needs to be in a little bit more. And Myers just lays down a bunt that wasn't even that good of a bunt. And Gonzalez just has no shot at getting to it. Then Jose Trevino for some reason, this guy's not a good baseball player. He's hitting 204. He's slugging 245. He hits a 2-run single to give the Reds a 2-run lead. So like Johan comes in, the runs get tagged to Sisk, but at the same time, defensively, just a terrible inning. Terrible inning by Triolo, terrible inning by Gonzalez.
And
There shouldn't
Ramirez
have been
actually
any
made a
runs
good
that
play on that
no
one.
runs should have gone in that inning.
Yeah, nothing should have scored. And you got a spectacular defensive play in that inning from Johan Ramirez. And it was still like, a terrible defensive inning, right? Just this team, man. It's unbelievable, right? You can't count on anybody to do the simplest of things. You can't count on a pitcher, a relief pitcher not to walk the leadoff batter. You can't count on a fielder to field pretty routine play. You can't count on a third baseman to field a bunt. It's just it's just stunning how fundamentally flawed this team is in so many areas. I want to say, I don't even mean, I don't mean their fundamentals are flawed. I just mean the team, is flawed in so many ways. It's just, it's in its core level. And this goes back to nutting Travis Williams and Ben. When you try to lose, when you actively try to lose, you create a losing culture. And you just don't turn it around. We added 2 guys, we added 3 guys, whatever, and boom, now we're going to start winning. It's time to win. Remember when they said that last year? It's time to win. They didn't have a chance at winning. This team has been trying to lose, and this funk stays over it. It takes a long time to get out of it. And you've got some of the guys. You got some of the guys that can pull it off, right? You got some that seem like high character, high motor, winner type guys. Endy is going to help with this. Connor Griffin, Paul Skeens. But man, like I said, there's just a black cloud that hangs over this team, and this kind of nonsense happens consistently. And there doesn't ever seem to be any kind of accountability. Nobody's out working on any kind of fielding plays before a game or any of that kind of stuff. They're just like, oh well, it's just baseball.
Doug, they take fielding practice before every game. Like that's not what this is. I'm gonna push back on that. Again, Michael B. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I hated Bill Murphy interrupted Soto pitching to Suarez. Wasn't shocking at all that Soto gives up a homer soon after. Jim, you are wrong on this. Murphy needs to be fired.
Love Michael B.
Thank you, Michael B. We'll get to the pitching stuff. Here's the thing, Doug. Like this isn't the players not like putting in the effort. Like if you, they're not. It's not like Jared Triolo is not taking infield practice. It's not like Nick Gonzalez isn't taking infield practice. There is accountability, right? Because we've seen bullpen arms going down and up and down and up. Like Ben Sherrington,
I think that's more usage than accountability.
Pieces around, he's just moving around bad pieces, right? So I mean, it all comes down to him and how he's built this team. But I want to do just the defense because this team made a decision this offseason to sacrifice defense for offense. That's what they did. And we've seen this team offensively be much better. We've also seen this team defensively be a lot worse. I'm urging all of you to just look a little bit more here and kind of like, I know the pitching, like if you're just looking at the numbers, yeah, this team is giving up more runs than it did last year. But like there are 2 parts to run prevention, Doug. The pitching is just part of it. The other part is defense, and defensively, this team is awful. Last year, they weren't right. Last year, they weren't awful. This year, they're awful. And so it's the trade-off you made, right? Like the trade-off you made in this game is if you would have taken this game and you would have put it in 2025, right? Brian Hayes probably makes 3 outs at third base that Nick Gonzalez didn't make today, right? And instead of losing 9-7, you would have lost 3-1, right? Because you wouldn't have had Brandon Lowe. You like that's the difference here, right? It's this team's scoring a lot more, but they're not preventing as many runs as they need to, and it's you would have hoped that it would lead to more than it has, and it had. Like I mean, let's be real. This team has made a drastic improvement from last year in terms of who they are and wins and losses, right? Like last year, this team won 71 games, right? They're probably an 80-win team at worst this year, Doug. That's a pretty vast improvement.
Oh, right. Last year at this time, we had checked out, right? There wasn't this kind of fire in the chat. People weren't this upset because we were done and we all
Yeah.
knew it. We're frustrated now like this. We're so angry now is because this team should be better. It certainly could be better. And again, the defense, it's one of the tricky things about baseball. If you throw an interception in the first quarter of a game, it doesn't haunt you 6 weeks down the road. But if you make an error in the first game of the road and your pitcher has to throw 7 more pitches that inning, right? And then you make an error in his next start and he has to throw 11 more pitches in that game. You know, it does have a cumulative effect. And so, right, I mean, and we don't let pitchers go past 5 innings. I love Terry Francona letting his kid go 6 today. It was shocking. I felt like I was watching a game in 1972. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems, but there's no denying it's a better team than it was last year. And the defense has been killing it and the bullpen has been killing it. And then sometimes the defense and bullpen get together to kill it like they did today.
I don't even know if there's a lot of problems, Doug. I think there is one glaring problem, and it's the bullpen. Like, I think that's the defense is bad, but the offense is good enough to overcome it. But the offense isn't good enough to overcome a bad defense and a bad bullpen. And I mean, this is yesterday, right? They gave up 2 runs in 4 innings. Like, that's not like the worst thing in the world, but it's below average. Today they give up 5 runs in 4 1/3 innings. Like, just it's a bad bullpen. They're just not getting the job done, and it's all of them. It's not just if it weren't for X player, this bullpen would be good. It's all of them. It just changes
every single one of them.
Like,
yeah, it's just a different bum each day.
And today it was Gregory Soto. The Pirates did an awesome job of getting to this Reds bullpen. They got to Chase Burns finally. They did get to Burns. They gave
5 runs. They put up 5 runs against Chase Burns. Kid's got an ERA of 2.
Put up 5 runs on Chase Burns. Jared Triolo leads off the 7th with his 3rd hit against Chase Burns. He then Mango moves him to 3rd. Brandon Lowe hits him in. And then like Reynolds, Gonzalez, they get on base. O'Hearn gets a nice single off of a lefty to tie the game. Like they did a great job of getting back into this game. Isaac Mattson, like, again, like, it's not all of them all the time. It's just like different players. It's different.
It could be him tomorrow, right? He's been good the last 2 outings. I mean, and that makes it you think, oh gosh, yeah. And that's how desperate we are. How crawling across the desert we are, just hoping for a rain. It's like, oh, this guy's had back-to-back good outings. Let's make him the closer.
Yeah, I mean, it was like vintage Isaac Mattson tonight. Just looking like he was overpowering hitters. And then, like I said, Esmerlyn Valdez with the kind of the magical moment there in the 8th inning, pinch hit homer, 2nd homer in 2 games. Like, and you're thinking like they're gonna get this thing done. And then Soto just right off the bat, single, walk, gets a big double play, and then you're like, okay, this is gonna work. Then another walk, then the homer to Suarez, and it's just like we've seen this too many times. But I do want to dive into Jared Jones quite a bit here, the second half of this show, and I want to dive into like I said, the offense got to Chase Burns, so I want to talk about that too. But let's kick it over to Cody real quick.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it. and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
All right, Doug. Let's talk about Jared Jones a little bit. This was his sixth start of the season. Started off a little rocky. Gives up the solo homer to Sal Stewart in the first inning. He just got beat. Fastball and got beat. Stewart launched it right field. Just a kind of a good piece of hitting there. Gets a 1-2-3 second inning. Third inning. This is kind of where I go back to like just defense, right? Defense. Jose Trevino, Pirate Killer, apparently. Leads off the inning with a book roll double over the north side notch there in left center field. Brian Reynolds was close to it. It would have been a really, really difficult play, I think, for anybody. But
excuse me.
Maybe a really good left fielder makes that play. I don't know. But Sal Stewart hits him in on what looked like just a pretty, not a routine ground ball, Doug, but like a good third baseman charges that ball, doesn't let it take that last hop. Whereas Nick Gonzalez backs up on it, fields it in shallow left field, lets it eat him up, and then you got an infield single. It's 2-0 Reds. That was the first run of this game where like the defense failed Jared Jones there. They failed him. That should have been an inning-ending ground out to third, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a problem all year. And quite frankly, Nick Gonzalez isn't hitting well enough to sort of make up for that sort of poor defense. He's kind of, cooled down here lately. I mean, he does that and he bounces back. I don't know. But, right, he's not a very good third baseman. And he appears to be getting worse. Like when he first came up, I thought he played third a little bit better.
I agree.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there. But, yeah, it's sort of the same thing, though. I mean, I guess you could play Callahan there. But it's like, who you going to, it's kind of like the bullpen problem. Who you going to play? Yeah. I mean, he looks terrible too. And then obviously if I say Triolo, they might storm the castle here. And, but Triolo is a very good third baseman, but he does not hit either. 3 hits today, and he does hit better the later we get into the season. But I mean, Nick,
I think Nick Gonzalez is hitting good enough to kind of make up for the lack of defense. But this is where just it comes back to haunt you, right? I mean, I think Nick Gonzalez is hitting just fine. You'd like to see more power there probably, but like defensively, it's been rough. It's been rough. And I agree with you. Like, it seems like it's getting worse, right? But today in that third inning, he cost the Pirates a run. Jared Triolo, if he's playing third base, I have no doubt in my mind Jared Triolo makes that play.
Right.
No doubt in my mind.
Yeah, and it's very unmemorable. You don't think anything. It's just a standard play from Jared Triolo.
It's a nice play, but yeah, like it's not. I think an above average third baseman makes that. So the Pirates go down 2-0, and then, like I said, first big moment of today's game. Brandon Lowe, his 20th homer of the year, Doug. 20th home run of the year.
June 27th.
He leads every second baseman in every category offensively. He's an all-star in my book. Just a 3-run homer, Triolo single, Mangum single, Lowe homer. And that's what you need off of Chase Burns. Chase Burns kind of looked like he was, rolling a little bit there. And Lowe just erases all of that up 3-2 right there in the third. Just an incredible acquisition.
Yeah, I don't think any of us thought we were going to get this. We knew he was pretty good. We knew he was a power hitter. But dude's on pace for like 38 home runs. I don't think I was expecting that. I was hoping for 30. He's just outstanding. He's just, and it's not just home runs either. You know what I'm saying? He hits doubles. He's knocking in runs with singles. It's, shoot, even in the bottom of the ninth, I'm like, well, at least Lowe's coming up. We got a chance. This guy, I can hardly wait to see him come to the plate. It's good things happen.
I want to talk about this guy in the comments here, just real quick. It says Triolo's been worse than Gonzalez at defense. Well, that's because Triolo's playing on a much difficult position. Jared Triolo at third base this year is +1 defensive run saved, +1 outs above averaged. Nick Gonzalez at third base this year is -7 defensive run saved and -4 outs above average. So do I look at stats? Yes, I look at stats. Now, to continue on with this conversation, Doug, Pirates up 3-2. All right. Jerry Jones comes back out there in the fourth, just mows down the Reds. Suarez strikeout, Lowe strikeout, Marte pops up. Chase Burns comes back out for the fourth, and the Pirates they keep adding on, right? Endy coming through, who's just been a breath of fresh air. He's been great. Endy with a double, and then Jared Triolo knocks him in again. Jared Triolo, terrible game defensively at short. Can't say enough about him offensively today.
Great game offensively.
3 hits off of Chase Burns, and that was a big RBI single to extend the Pirates' lead to 4-2. I was waiting for you to come in there with something, Doug, but I'll keep going.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
You seem like you were on a roll. I didn't want to slow you down.
Fifth inning, Doug, and this is the disaster inning, right? Like last night we had the Paul Skeens disaster. Tonight we've got the disaster with Jared Jones here, and it started with the leadoff walk. And I'm not going to put all of this on Jones, but I am going to put some of this on Jones because you walk the leadoff batter here. You're up by 2, and this is your last inning. Like, the Pirates haven't let Jared Jones go past 5 innings all year long. Like, this is the plan, right? So Jones walks the leadoff batter. Like, you've got to get through this inning, Jared Jones. You're in the lead. Like, exit this inning with the lead. And then he balks him over to second.
Yeah.
Which is the team's 4th balk of the year, by the way, Doug, which I don't know if you're keeping track at home. The over-under in the beginning of the year was, I think, 4.5. So it's not looking good for Tyler and DiNardo there. But
much like their picks on Lowe's home runs. So
yes. It was a bad day for DiNardo and Tyler's over-under picks. So Myers gets the second on a balk. Trevino lines out. You got 1 out. Then wild pitch. First wild pitch of the inning. And you could say, like, was it on Jones? Was it on Endy? Like, just don't put Endy in the situation where he needs to make like an acrobatic play.
So it's borderline, but my goodness, you threw it over the umpire's head. I mean,
you're exactly. Yeah, no, exactly right. So Myers moves to third on the wild pitch. And he scores on Arroyo's double. So, that's a run against Jones. Gets Ellie to strike out, huge strikeout. And this is what I'm thinking, like, okay, he's going to get out of this. I think he's going to get out of this. Then he throws another wild pitch, Doug. And then looks like he's going to get out of the inning, right? Routine ground ball right to second base. Brandon Lowe, the guy who I just raved about. We just talked about they traded defense for offense. Brandon Lowe's the one guy, though, where it's like he's been really outplaying his norms defensively.
Yes, he has.
And Brandon Lowe, just the most routine play you could have at second base, Doug, and he just misses it.
Yeah, I'd like to blame the rain, the field conditions maybe, but these were just routine stuff that you expect. Tyler coaching high school kids expects them to make that play, right? And you certainly expect it from Brandon Lowe. We don't expect Brandon Lowe to be Gold Glove, but we expect him to make that play, and we don't. And again, it's one of those like cumulative things. Like that pitch should have never had to been thrown because you shouldn't have been wild pitching and balking and but right. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely partially like you got to put some blame on Jones, right? Like it was not a good inning for him, but it was not a good inning for the Pirates defense at all there. Again, Brandon Lowe, I get it was raining, I get it was wet, but guess what? The Reds played on the exact same field, and they didn't do that stuff. The Reds played a pretty fundamentally sound game today, Doug.
Pretty clean game. Yeah, scored 9 runs.
So that's kind of how we got to it. But overall, like, just kind of dissect Jones's start. I thought he was fine. Like, I mean, without the defense, he probably goes 5 innings, gives up 2 runs. Yeah, I thought the breaking stuff looked really good. Like, I thought the slider and the curveball looked really good for him. He was locating the curveball really, really well today, I thought. But he got 12 swings and misses. Didn't really give up a ton of hard contact. Average exit velocity off of him was 89 miles per hour. I thought he did a good job today overall. But the end line, I think, just doesn't look as good as he actually pitched.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm mixed on him. Him and Bubba, to me, have a lot of the same issues. Right? They're young, they're mature, they're brash. They have a cockiness that they have yet not earned. But that cockiness can come in handy, right? It can serve you well. So, but yeah, with both of them, and with Jones in particular today, they're often their own worst enemies. Right. And I get the defense does them no favors, but they're often, they do just enough little things. And, like I said, a wild pitch here, a balk there, a bad pitch there, and, boom, you're in trouble. And, I wish they could focus this sort of energy they have, this rage or whatever it is that sort of fuels them, and just focus that into just, pounding the strike zone and doing all the little things right. But yeah, I mean, he didn't look bad. I think it's going to it's hard to get a beat on him. They won't let him pitch up past the 5th. And like, I wonder if he pitches differently knowing that, right? Is he rear back zone a little harder in the 3rd, and he'll overthrow something because, well, I've only got, a few innings to go type thing. I'm not sure. I don't like the way they're handling him. But yeah, and he needs to kind of get his act together a little. But again, if they just make some basic plays behind him, like you said, he leaves with only 2 runs and he's in line for the win. Right.
Carmen Mlodzinski not used today, Doug. I don't know why. I talked about this earlier in the week. Like, I don't know why he pitched 2 innings when the win probability was 99.9%. I don't know why he's not out in the bullpen. I don't know why he's in the dugout wearing a hoodie. I don't know why. I don't know why he's only pitched in 5 games this month, Doug. It just seems like an insanely stupid way of deploying this person.
Yeah, there's. They're trying to placate him. Like, no, look, you're still a starter. Like, you're just.
I don't know what they're doing. That's
what it seems like. I don't know. Like, he should be in the bullpen, and he should have came in today. I mean, if nothing else, when Soto, put the first 2 guys on, they should have said, get out to the bullpen and warm up. Like, it looks like we might need you. The way they use him is costing us wins. It's simple. You don't need advanced analytics to see that. Like, again, an 11-1 game, that's a good time to pitch Dennis Santana. That's a good time to pitch Bidwa. And you're pitching probably your best reliever at this point. We don't really know if he's the best reliever because he's not really getting that many reliever type opportunities other than his piggyback situations. But like Ben Cherington can't see this, and Billy Murphy can't see this, and Donnie Kelly can't see this. It's pretty obvious. The way that you're using him has cost us, game after game after game, and you're just sticking with it. And he's, in there chewing sunflower seeds and have a good old time hanging out with the rest of the starters.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. It irks me. It irks me to see him in the dugout, not even like in uniform. It irks me to know that he's not even in the bullpen with the rest of the relievers. Like, I don't know why, Doug, but it It drives me crazy.
Yeah, well, because it's like I said, it speaks to a larger issue, and it's like the mismanagement of this team, right? It's just emblematic of so many things that are wrong with this team. You've got games to win, and you got this guy sitting there, blowing bubbles or whatever, and giving hot foots and having pranks and having a good old time, while the bullpen is just going down, in flames.
Thanks again to Michael B. He mentions that Jared Jones is the first pitcher with the Pirates to have multiple wild pitches and a balk in the same inning since Kyle Crick in 2018. And then he goes to say, "What a joke." So, yeah, I mean, it was a bad inning. It was a really bad inning for Jones. He needs to be a little bit more composed than that. It was bad. It was bad. I'm gonna leave this with one thing before we kind of talk about, like, they've got to win tomorrow. You can't get swept at home against this pathetic Reds team. This is a bad Reds team.
They're the worst team in baseball with the May-June records. If you take May to June, they are the worst record, the worst win percentage, and they're just pushing us around.
There you go.
At our house.
Yesterday, the Pirates were heavy favorites and lost. Today, it was more of a pick-em, and they lost. Tomorrow, they're favored against Brady Singer and the Reds. FanDuel's got them at -132 on the money line. Tomorrow at 1:35 is that game time. But yes, I want to leave with one stat today, Doug. And again, I can't reiterate that I know these pitchers are giving up more runs than we're used to, than what we've seen in the past, right? And Doug, you may say, Jim, you and your stupid analytics and your advanced mumbo jumbo. But last year, Doug, the Pittsburgh Pirates had a FIP. That's fielding independent pitching. Are you aware of that, Doug?
I am. Well, yeah. Yes, that is the stat that, it's completely in the pitcher's control. Like, what would he do if he had no fielders behind him? Because, this often happens in a regular baseball game.
It would be what would happen if batted ball events, if you took out luck and defense altogether, and if everything was just average, right? Last year, Pirates pitchers 3.83 FIP, 3.83. All right. This year, Doug, 3.85.
That was Cody. He just
not really doing anything different. It's not that different. It's just the defense is so much worse, and it's leading to a lot more runs being put on the board. I don't really know another way to say it. And it's across the board for most everyone.
It's true, but I don't know, man. It does seem like they're not pitching as well. And additionally,
bullpen is not pitching as well. Bullpen sucks, Doug.
Maybe Paul Skeens too. Maybe Mitch Keller. Maybe Mitch Keller. I mean, you're right though. I mean, I understand, right? I mean, the bullpen is the team's biggest problem, and then the defense is the next issue. I'm not going to tell you that Paul Skeens is a problem, right? It's the bullpen. It's the mismanagement of the bullpen. It's the hierarchy of the bullpen. I mean, it's on and on. And the bullpen, for sure. And then after that, it's defense. And the only one you have a shot at fixing, more than likely, is the bullpen, right? You can go acquire
easiest thing
bullpen arms, right? It's the easiest thing to fix. But you're not really going to be able to fix the defense because Brandon Lowe is playing second base. And if he's not, we're mad, right? Ryan Reynolds is out in the outfield. Ryan O'Hearn is going to be playing. Nick Gonzalez is going to get his at bat. That sort of. There's just no getting around it. Connor Griffin makes it better for whatever reason.
On like $60 million in salary and trade for Matt Chapman or whatever, your defense is
right. Yeah, and again, he's just one guy. He's not going to catch anything in the outfield, right? I mean, he'll make third base better, and I would love to see the third base get better. But the reality is you're not going to make a big incremental change.
Nope. This is the team they picked. Yeah, this is the team that they are currently 41 and 42 with, Doug.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a mediocre team. And a maddeningly infuriating 500 team. If you had asked me at the beginning of the season, hey, June 27th, they'll be 500, I'd be like, okay. And you can make a run a little bit. But that's not how it feels It's not how it feels after a game like today and after a lot of the game. So
thanks for the super chat, Ira. I'm gonna go ahead and just say Ira. Thanks for the super chat there. Yeah, Doug. I don't have much more to say. I think we're pretty much both properly disgusted with how this one went, and they got to win tomorrow. Like that, you can't get swept.
Absolutely have to. Right. Mitch Keller needs to step up. He needs to go 6, maybe 7 innings, right? Let's take this out of the bullpen's hands as much as possible. Donnie Kelly, if he's got 75 pitches in the 5th inning, he can go out for the 6th. It can happen. And and let's field the ball cleanly. Let's knock a few over the fence and just let's have a laugher. I'd feel so much better with 11-1 win. Besides, I'd like to see Mlodzinski pitch again. So,
good God. You know, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you're listening afterwards on the podcast, leave a comment, tell your friends about us. Make sure you check out the North Shore 9 app on your phone too. It blows my mind how good it is every time I go in there.
I'm the same way. It's like, wow, like this is, we did this. And DiNardo, hats off to DiNardo and then everybody else that helped him. But holy cow, well done.
Yep. All right, Doug. You know what? If they lose tomorrow, I think it might be time for a sicko sound off. I feel like the people are getting restless. People are getting restless, Doug.
Right. We need everyone to take a deep breath. It's bad. It's frustrating, but we'll win tomorrow. We'll get back to 500, and then we go off to Philly and Washington. Neil and I, the B team, baby, we'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully to give away sandwiches.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go Bucks.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.